Yo, dog, Katie Boucher here. Didn't want to leave you hanging this week, so I have a cool review. Khorne Daemonkin. I got my special edition copy right here, looking super fresh. Can't even explain to you how happy I'm about this. There we go. And it is awesome, of course. I'll show you guys a little bit better of a close-up here in a second. I want to take this opportunity to talk about the longwar.net. The reason I don't have a painting tutorial this week is because it's over in the longwar.net. Everything's going to be over there 1 week ahead of time. So when you get an opportunity, go over to www.thelongwar.net, take a look around, see if it's something you guys are interested in. It is our portal to bringing hobby back together. Everything's still going to be free. Just have to wait a little bit longer for it. It's going to be ad-free right now on the longwar.net. In the meantime, let's jump into the Khorne Daemonkin. All right, guys. Here's something interesting in the Khorne Daemonkin collector's box. This fake book. This is actually just the collector's set. They didn't hit us up with any secondary books, anything like that. They went straight for this collector's, the tokens and the blood tie counters. These are a row of brass skulls to track your blood tie. Of course, we got the classic coins. Marks of Khorne on them, brass, of course, super clutch, and a custom tactical deck right here. It's very neat, very handy. I will never use this. It will always just be on my shelf. It's something I know that I have. 40k Psychosis is strong. All right, let's open up the real book. All right, here it is. Khorne Daemonkin. Of course, it's beautiful. I mean, all its chaos and glory. I mean, I can't even tell you how happy I am with this book. I mean, it's so pretty. Everything I love about Chaos is in here. All the artwork, all the stories, everything. Let's jump into some of the units, the new things. Let's talk about Force Organization. So just like all the other new 7th edition codexes, it's a bunch of data slates and formations. We have a bunch of formations here. For the most part, they're useless. That's not, don't get worried. That's normal. You know, it's just for people who have an interesting collection and they want to play them. This Brazen Onslaught, you know, you got to take Terminators and Blood Crushers. Those are not the most optimized units in these codexes. Khorne's Bloodstorm. You know, you got to take all these Raptors and Warp Tiles. Yet again, not very good. Here, he's working against to get interesting. The Gore Pack. This is actually a really competitive choice. It requires you to take 2 units of Chaos Bikers and at least 1 unit of Flesh Hounds to a maximum of 4 each. This is just a little formation. Interesting to note, 3 Chaos Bikers with 2 Melta Guns is like 96 points or something. That's a really good MSU choice in today's meta. I mean, they can hide behind things, they can go 24 inches, they can score a tactical objective, they can score a progressive objective, they can blow up a tank. They work really well together with these other units. It's a really low price for a relatively effective unit. And of course, Flesh Hounds are always good. And something new in this codex is demons don't have instability. They're straight raw dog fearless. So that is a huge boost. And that means units that are not demons can finally join them. We do have a few more formations. Nothing worth talking about. This is the only one I like. Let's talk about the demon, the new super formation. All right, guys, let's talk about the Blood Host Detachment. This is the new super formation. You have to take a Slaughter Cult. This is required, and you have to take between 1 and 8 of these little joints right here. For the most part, these little things are just those formations that we just saw, but they also have the War Engine. So you can take a Hellbrute, a Defiler, a Soul Grinder, Forge Fiend, Malefiend, or Lord of Skulls. Right out the gate, the most interesting to note is that you can take 8 of these. So everyone on the internet's talking about it. You can take 8 Malefiends right here. That's really cool. But let's talk about the Slaughter Cult, the requirement of this formation. Okay, here we go. I'm not a hater. Don't hate anything about Warhammer 40k. I love it. It is time for me to voice my one disappointment here. This is not bad. You have to take one of the HQs they give you a list of the possibilities. You have to take 2 of the troop units. They give you a list of the possibilities. You have to take 1 unit of Chaos Possessed. This is what I'm going to say. I hate this. I hate Possessed. They're stupid. 30 points a guy. They are so dumb. This is one of the, I mean, they had an opportunity to give us a new price tag in this codex. All sorts of things. I mean, I will tell you in my heart, I'm not really that surprised. Chaos does not get the treatment that Space Marines and Eldar get. But I'm disappointed with the price tag there. You're getting a Space Marine stat line guy with a couple more attacks with a demon save. And he has a 1 in 3 chance of sometimes being good against certain troops in close combat. And you don't get to know until you're in close combat, so there's no tactics to it. It is just luck. And it's 30 points a guy. Let me put that in perspective. A Space Marine with an assault weapon, a pistol, that is strength 4. A rapid fire weapon that is strength 4. Being ballistic skill 4. Toughness 4, and weapon skill 4. He is about 15 points. Okay? So I'm trying to figure out what the price tag here is for power armor. I've seen it in the Inquisition Codex. It is 8 points. Let's go to a Bloodletter. Let's talk about a Bloodletter for a second. A Bloodletter is 10 points. He always is AP 3. He always has Furious Charge. He's weapon skill 5. And he has 1 attack. And he's toughness 3. And he has a 5+ unmountable. He's 10 points. If you were to give that guy a 3+ armor save, based on just what I discussed, like the old Bloodletters had, brass armor. If you gave this guy an armor save, you can argue that a 3+ armor save is worth 8 points on a toughness 3 model. So he would be 18 points. He would have 3 up, 5 up. He would always have AP 3. The only result that is decent on the possess chart. 18 points. Like, where's the 30 coming from? Okay, so toughness 4. How many points is 1 + 1 toughness worth? I mean, 10 points most, so 28 points. So now we have a 28-point Bloodletter who would be toughness 4, 3 up save, 5 up invulnerable, weapon skill 5, and is always AP 3 and always has Furious Charge. That configuration is 2 points less, always gets the job done in close combat, and is weapon skill 5. I mean, I just can't, like, in my mind, I just cannot understand how they value this unit at 30 points a model, especially when Warp Talons exist. Warp Talons have a jump pack and 2 lightning claws, and they're about the same price tag. It's like, get out of here. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You have to spend 150 points just to unlock this thing. I will never take this. This is not something I will ever take, because I will never waste 150 points on essentially a useless unit. So stupid, and I hate it. But the good thing is you're not required to take this. You can take a CAD, Combined Arms Detachment, an Allied Detachment, or any one of the other formations. So there are plenty of ways to play this. This is not one for me. I can't do it. I feel like this is one of the times that GW is doing a money grab. They are trying to sell boxes of useless models, and they didn't even update the rules. And here's another thing. This is the last, I swear to God, is the last thing I'm going to hate on. The Lord of Skulls. The Lord of Skulls is still useless. They had an opportunity here to update his rules. They've done it to the Brass Scorpion countless times. He is still stupid 888 points, and he's still a stupid Thunderblitz Walker. This is ridiculous. This is an opportunity for them to make him actually a Chaos Knight type. This guy at his stats, even though he has 9 hull points and all these crazy things, he doesn't have a stomp. Stomp is the most devastating thing that a Knight type has. I would say this guy base costs 350 points. And then you can buy all his weapons. So like a fully decked out Lord of Skulls should like never be more than 450. That, I mean, if they had made that change, I would be playing the crap out of this guy. Very disappointed in that opportunity. This is a fail. I have this model on my shelf. He's unplayable. Okay, so now that I've gotten some of the negatives out of the way, let's talk about some positives. Okay, positive. Chaos Lord. He's a super positive. He has access to war gear that makes him Eternal Warrior and feel no pain. He is a beatstick unit. You can put him on a Juggernaut, and the Juggernauts have taken a point reduction in this codex. This is a guy who can do the Lord's work. Of course, what I mean is the Lord of Skulls. He can have a Lightning Claw and a Power Fist, and he can be on a Juggernaut, and he can have the Eternal Warrior armor. He will kill people. Demon Prince. Not very good. Khorne Demon Princes pretty much suck, but he can take the same armor as this guy, making him pretty cool. Heralds. They sort of dropped the ball in the Heralds, war gear selection-wise. He has none of the same access to war gear that the Lord does. If he did, that would be amazing. But what he is another badass guy you can put on a Juggernaut, and you can give him the Loki of Wrath. Here's a really important thing to know. This guy can join any unit in the Chaos Mystery Codes, basically. He is unmarked. He does not have a mark. So as far as allies go, this guy's amazing. He can join a unit of Nurgle Marines, anything, because he does not have the mark on Khorne, and he does not have demonic instability. This guy can give Loki of Wrath to a unit of Nurgle Spawn, anything you want. Put him on a Juggernaut. He's really cool. I do like this guy a lot. And also to note, this Lord can do the same thing. You can put him in a unit of demons because there's no demonic instability in this case. The Blood Throne, nothing new there. That's in the Demon Codex. Kind of an average choice. Skull Taker can't go on a Juggernaut, so that's kind of an upsetting thing, but he's still pretty cool. Here's the guy everyone's talking about, the new Bloodthirsters. They pretty much all suck because Bloodthirsters suck. Except this guy can fill a role. This is the new heat right here. You've heard people talk about him. Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, also coined as the D-Thirster. This guy has 1 billion attacks with a D weapon in close combat. He fulfills a role. If you can keep him protected, he can literally change the course of the game. This is the Bloodthirster that you should be taking. None of these other guys matter. You can make them with some war gear. There's a weapon that, like, if you die, you can bring one of these other Bloodthirsters in, and with a tithing counter, you can bring in stuff. I'll talk about the tithing blood tithes here in a second, but the D-Thirster's good. I try to sneak him into all my lists, but here's a really important thing to note. There's a data slate in the White Dwarf article. You can take these guys out of the Demon Codex and give them demonic gifts. That is a far superior choice than this guy. So if you were taking Daemonkin, you should ally with demons. Take him out of the Demon Codex and give him all the gifts, because he might get Funeral Pain and he might get +1 more. Coultas, 8-man Coultas squad that costs more points than 10-man Coultas squads. I hate this because they have the mark of Khorne. Chaos Space Marines, they still suck. They have not gotten any better. They don't have and they should not fear. Berserkers are still probably one of the better troops because they are relatively cheap. They have a lot of attacks and they're fearless. This is my favorite unit right now in this codex. 8-man units of Bloodletters. 80 points for 8 Bloodletters that are actually fearless and they can actually kill things. This is a really good troop choice. I will always take this troop choice over all the other previous ones. Possessed. I'm literally not going to talk about them. Terminators. Chaos Terminators have always been a little underwhelming. Nothing you can do about it. But they can take combi weapons and they can take power axes, so there's something there. Blood Crushers. They're okay. I have lists that use these guys on the ally as an ally because they do fulfill a role. They're fast and they can literally just wipe units out. I'm okay with the points, but you need to protect them because they're only toughness 4 and they don't have any kind of armor set. But I do like this unit. Spawn. I only take Nurgle Spawn. Obviously all the transports are here. Bikes, we talked about these. I do like these. And the Flush House. Here's one of my, let me back you up to another argument. These guys are 16 points apiece. 16 points apiece. A Possessed Marine is 30 points. This guy has 2 wounds, Scout, moves 12 inches, has Weapon Skill 5, and Furious Charge. This guy is approximately 1 billion times better than a Possessed Marine, and he's 16 points. Get out of here. This is one of the best units in the game. I'll give you a little piece of advice. You can take a unit, you can take a maxed out unit of these guys, and you can put that Lord on a Juggernaut with the Eternal Warrior and Funeral Pain in this unit. You can ally in with Black Legion or Chaos or Christmas Slaughter. Black Legion has another Eternal Warrior artifact. You can make another Juggernaut Lord the same way, put him in here. So you have 2 Eternal Warrior tanks in this unit. They can scout up, move 12 inches on turn 1, and be in the enemy's face. Make a little bit of Death Star out of it. You can even put the Herald in there for the Loki Wrath, or you can go Crimson Slaughter and take the Demon Heart. This is one of the best units in the Codex. Always take this unit. Let's move on. Raptors, they suck. I guess it's unfair. Let me tell you why all Chaos Space Marines suck. They don't have the same leadership manipulation they used to have, and they do not have Ignition of Fear, but they essentially cost the same points as a regular Space Marine. That is very disappointing. You can kill one guy, make them fail a leadership check, and sweep them. That is stupid, and I hate it. They used to be like leadership 10 with a reroll, and you can never get them like below 2. Like, I mean, but now, I mean, they're just so easy to kill. And when they rally, they can't do anything. I mean, it's too many points. Warp Talons. Now let me tell you about a Warp Talon. A Warp Talon is a unit that nobody uses. With the Marker Khorne, they're 34 points each. I don't like the Marker Khorne ones, but I do like the Marker Tzeentch ones. This guy has 2 Lightning Claws. We know that a Lightning Claw is worth 15 points. He has 2 of them. That's 30 points. He also has a Jump Pack. We know that a Jump Pack is worth about 15. He's also a Space Marine. Space Marines are about 14.5, 15 points. They're fearless. I mean, they're not fearless, but they are demons. So they have an invulnerable save. An invulnerable save is worth about 10, 15 points. These guys have so many things going for them. If you're ever thinking about taking Possessed Marines, don't just take this. When you really break it down to how many things they have. And if you give them the Marker Tzeentch, they have a 4+ invulnerable, you are actually getting a really good unit here. And if you just put a Tzeentch Lord in there on a disc with a 3+ invulnerable to make them fearless, that unit can do the work. This is a billion times better than Possessed, but nobody ever looks at these guys. These guys actually are worth their points if you just add up their work here. I don't know if I would take them because I'm more about point efficiency, but these guys are way better than Possessed. I wish they were the obligatory unit. Moving on, Helldrakes. Obviously, Helldrakes are good. Chaos Land Raiders are cheap. Forge Fiends, still not that great. Really overcosted, but they are really cool looking. Mauler Fiends are my heat. I love them. I'm a little disappointed that they have the Demon of Khorne rule, because all that does is really give them Furious Charge. They don't need Furious Charge. The only reason that these things have Demon of Khorne, in my opinion, is because in Imperial Armor 13, there's a relic that you could put on a vehicle to make all Demons of Khorne have +1 invulnerable save. So obviously there's a combo there. You could take 8 Mauler Fiends and give them 4+ invulnerables. Defiler, awful. Soul Grinder, really good. These guys are just too many points compared to this. Hellbrutes, I mean, just a 100-point Dreadnought. They are what they are. Skull Cannon, there are combos with the Skull Cannon, but it's hard to take. The fact that anything hit by its blast gives an assaulter, a friendly assaulting unit, assault grenades is really cool, and it ignores cover, but ultimately, I'm not a huge fan of it. Lord of Skull is terrible, and here we are into all the formations, which we just previously discussed. All right, guys, so that was a pretty fast review, trying to hit you guys at a pace. I know there was a lot of hate in there for me, especially Chaos, being a Chaos guy. Let me put it this way. Chaos is a hard army to get to play. It is not easy. There's a lot of problems with the codex. That's why you see me, I work around it. I play a lot of Chaos Space Marines because they're in my heart. I play for the love, and if you play for the love, you always make it work. Let me talk about point efficiency. I don't play things that piss me off. Like a Chaos Space Marine pisses me off. I don't play them. I play Coultas. Like, you know what doesn't piss me off? 50 points of stupid Coultas. Like, I know they suck. They don't have Ignition of Fear, but they do have Leadership 8, and they're only 50 points, and they are objective secure. That is point efficient, sir. Taking interesting and exciting things out of the Chaos Codex, like Spawn. That's why I take them. Toughness 6, 3 wounds. They move like beasts. And being able to throw up a clutch, Shroud Aura. People don't ever see that coming. That's a strong unit. Mauler Fiends, 125 points out of the Chaos Codex. It's a good unit. It's distraction. It's fast. Threat range is good. That's why you see I have a fundamental 1,000-point element. I always play the Chaos. I always play 2 Sorcerers on bike, maximum loadout, I always play 2 Coultas units because it's required. I always play 2 Mauler Fiends and 2 units in their Spawn. It's 1,000 points. I always start there, and then I figure out I put my potentials out there, figure out the rest. Took me a long time to figure that out. Like, I'm just using the tricks of Chaos. Like, the fact that I have Mastery Level 3 Sorcerers, that have Spell Familiars, that can roll Biomancy and Telepathy. The fact that I have some units that nobody knows about, like Spawn and Mauler Fiends. But, so the list I've been bouncing around, I've gone a lot of places. You know what I mean? Like, I've thought about making that little dog star, doing all these cool little things. But where I'm at right now is using the Khorne Daemonkin as an ally choice. It's one of the only ways to take the D-Thirster. You can only take the D-Thirster in that stupid, gigantic formation, a CAD or an ally choice. So take an ally, take the D-Thirster as my HQ. I take 1 unit of Bloodletters, and that's why I'm only ever going to take Bloodletters out of that codex, because they're really good. I'll take a unit of 10, even though I know I only have to take 8, because I like 10. So take a unit of 10 Bloodletters. Then, that's my obligatory. Then I move on to Fast Attack. Take a unit of 15 Fleshhounds. I'll move over to Elite, take a unit of 5 Blood Crushers. So I have an incredibly fast army. I have like 15 Bloodhounds, Fleshhounds that scout 12 inches before the army. 10 Nurgle Spawn, 5 Blood Crushers, and 2 Maulafines. This little formation with 1 Shroud Bubble can move together using the dogs to screen them and give them all cover, or even just find ruins and get 2+ cover saves. And you can come on somebody like this. The D-Thirster will just fly in turn 1, hopefully toss an invisibility on the dogs, and pop a Shroud Order in the perfect one, you know. Just one of my initial ideas. I'm going to be playtesting that army here soon for the ATCs. I'm also going to have a battle report soon. You can download that army in the Hall of Vengeance, which is on the longwar.net. That is the name of the membership page for everyone who is a member. It's one of the things that I was talking about. You get exclusive access to our downloads page with a bunch of army lists that we play, and I have that one up on there. Anyway, if you get an opportunity, scoot over to longwar.net, take a look at it. In the meantime, thanks for watching, players.